Hey, what's going on, guys? It is Mason of Delphino here today, and the Switch is coming very soon. So what I wanted to do today, instead of focusing on features of the Switch or specs or anything of that sort, I'm here to talk about games with you. Today I want to talk about the top 5 games that I think are going to low-key dominate. Basically just saying I think it's going to do really well in terms of sales. Unexpectedly though. So with that said, here we go. Nintendo fired off the Nintendo Switch presentation from January off with a game known as 1-2-Switch. While not many people were blown away by the trailer, I'm personally pretty excited for the title. Party games have always been fun for me, so I don't see this one being any much different. The thing is, the game seems so confusing at the start. It should have been bundled with the Switch, and I don't think anybody can doubt that. But the concept of the game is interesting because you mostly don't even have to look at the game screen to play it, but instead it requires actual interaction and communication via the Joy-Cons and another player. Yeah, social interaction, I don't know how I feel about that either, guys. I think the whole game itself is a good idea, as it's basically a tech demo game, which is, again, why it should have been bundled. I mean, look at Wii in the Wii Sports game, Nintendo Land in the Wii U. But it is what it is, and overall with the features of the Joy-Con somewhat reminding me of a Wii Remote, I think that'll bring in some of that crowd. I mean, hey, it could do well. You never know. Let me start off this one by saying that, yes, I am very well aware that Sonic Mania is also releasing on other systems as well, and not just the Switch. I played quite a bit of Sonic back in my day, way back even in the Sega Genesis days. Then on GameCube I played Sonic Adventure DX and Adventure 2 Battle, Sonic Heroes, and then eventually Sonic Unleashed on my Xbox 360 I used to have. And then Sonic Generations and so on and so forth. I'm excited for Project Sonic 2017, but I think in all honesty a lot more people are secretly more excited for Sonic Mania. It's just one of those games that's gonna take people back to when they were youngsters. I think the coolest part about this is that Sega has given indies the opportunity to create the game. That opens up the door for new gameplay aesthetic within, while hopefully also holding true to the classic Sonic we all know and love. For the most part. I think it really has the most chance for success, assuming the Switch does well, that is. Because this thing can be taken on the go. That's a pretty cool thing that competitors are not actually able to say, correct? I mean, sometimes you just gotta go fast, and that sometimes requires you being away from home, so, there you go. Another one that I feel like has a pretty nice chance of success due to the Switch's portability is Ukulele. I've talked about this game a few other times before, but geez, I think this game has wound up to be one of the most coolest looking Kickstarter projects I have ever seen. I really am a sucker for 3D platformers though. Playtonic Games, the minds behind not only Ukulele but the Banjo-Kazooie series, really seem to have taken inspiration from other 3D platformers like them. I think it's a really nice callback to old fans that will probably be a little bit nostalgic feeling once they play it. It sounds like a neat concept that's been reinvented, and from the trailers I know that I'm super excited for this game. It reminds me of Super Mario 64 or Super Mario Sunshine almost. The aesthetic just looks fun and vibrant, and I think it's gonna do very well because of that. The only thing that can make it not as successful as competitor versions is that it may be releasing on a different later date than the April one given for its launch on other platforms. But nonetheless, it's a game that I'm very confident will do well for the Switch. While we're waiting for Mario Odyssey, what if we had this one to carry us over? That would be pretty great. This is one of those games that I'm honestly pretty hyped to even just try out. We learned about this game at the Nintendo Switch presentation where they showed off 2 new IP, one of them being this, Snipper Clips. It's a game where you pretty much just have to snip and clip your way to victory. I think it's going to be a pretty big success, just even considering how obscure this idea is. I mean, Splatoon was strange, but look how that turned out. I just think it has a lot of potential to not only be a fun game to play when you're bored or something, but even with a big group of people. I can see it getting really intense at times. Yeah, it may seem weird to think about it like that, but I bet there's going to be some competitive edge on it that people will be driven towards when they learn about it. The levels look fun, and the concept of shaping your characters to be used as platforms and shapes to complete objectives is really fun and interesting. And did I mention how adorable this game is? Like, come on, man. Last but not least, I think ARMS is going to be an absolute killer title for the Switch. Basically what ARMS is a fighting game where you're in a massive arena and a full range of battle space. Think of it like Pokken Tournament in a way. In the 3-dimension maps, you're able to punch your way to victory. The thing is, these characters are epic. They have arms, They can stretch super far and they can punch via motion controls of the Joy-Cons, and really, I think it just looks like an absolutely amazing epic time. And one more thing, you know who's developing this game? No? Well, let me fill you in, youngster. The same people that make Mario Kart they're making ARMS. Isn't that crazy? They've literally went from a racing game featuring a plumber from Brooklyn to a wide-scale fighting game as a vibrant and colorful title as this. It looks like a super great time. I've seen people compare it and say it could have been a Punch-Out title, but I know either way, ARMS is going to be one of my favorite games the Switch will have in the first year at least. So with all that out of the way, thank you so much for checking out my top 5 games that I think will be low-key fire on the Nintendo Switch. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know which games you think are going to do really well down below in the comments. I will talk to you next time.